Hey there everybody, how's it going? Trem here, hope you're all doing well. Today I'm going to be doing an owner's review on the CBR 600. This is my 2010 CBR 600. I've done 2,000 miles on it so far and I've owned it for around 6 months. This is my long-term review of this bike instead of, because I did like a first ride on my mate's one, so I wanted to do a review now. I've owned it for a bit with the pros and cons of this bike, and I do have quite a few to talk about on both sides. So let's get right into it. So guys, let's get right into it. Let's start on a high note and we'll work towards the negatives. So what are the positives of this bike? Well, it is, even though it is a super sport 600cc, it is still very street friendly. The bars, and particularly the position that you are sitting in, is very rider friendly for the street and everything, compared to like an R6 and Ninja 636. Other things to mention are obviously the styling. It looks absolutely fantastic. Even after owning it for this time, I can confirm it still looks shit hot. Still love the look of it. Brakes are still fantastic. I've ridden a lot of bikes in the meantime while owning this one as well. And I can safely say that the brakes on this thing are still great. I believe after having a quick look, we sussed them out to be 4-pot brakes, so you know they're pretty strong. Also to mention, I've got a lot of aftermarket stuff on this bike, so I am going to mention that as well, because these are stuff that you can do to the CBR to make it even better. But the ASV levers on the CBR are absolutely mint. I can two-finger everything, two-finger brake, and that's sufficient. And Oxford heated grips haven't really had much use for them yet, even when I went on my trip. Just haven't had a lot of use for them, which is a shame. But you know, I have had them on a cold day now and then, and you know they do make a big difference, and they're great to have. The R&G crash bar ends are also fantastic. Great for styling and also for security, so you don't smash all your bars up. I think they're supposed to protect your bars in the event that if you drop your bike. So that's another plus. What else is there to mention? Exhaust note, inline 4. I currently have a Yoshimura RS5 full carbon fibre slip-on on this bike, and it sounds awesome. The thing is, it's not like my RVF where it was obnoxious all the time. It actually gets better the faster you go. Believe it or not. Tick over sound is fantastic, but also when you start revving it, it gets really loud, really vicious. And does the CBR's engine justice? The stock does not do it justice at all. Very fast, very fun. Also incredibly light. Great for throwing into corners and such. Just effortless to throw this thing into corners. It's really good. The fuel gauge is also really handy, I've noticed. My other bikes I've had to gauge my fuel. Having that fuel gauge is an absolute godsend. And also I like the fact on the dashboard, speaking of which, that you've got a lot of it in digital, but you've also got your tacho in analog, which is great. It's nice just to be able to glance down, see exactly what speed I'm doing, see how hot the bike is, what time it is. It's all there. Everything you need is there. Nothing more than what you need, which is really good. There are some negatives with this bike, and I'll get on to them, but once I get off of this dual carriageway. And we're finally off. Oh, what? Thought that was for me then. I was like, I haven't done anything. Let's talk about some of the negatives of this bike, because it certainly has some that I've noticed. First of all, the mirrors. If you look through the mirrors currently, you'll be able to see, I can see absolutely jack shit. And the reason for that is because this bike, for some reason, I can feel it revving on the tank currently. What that means is that this part of the fairing is now vibrating, which means that the mirrors are vibrating, which means that when this bike gets up in the RPMs, particular RPMs especially, I can't see through them mirrors. Jesus, there's a shit ton of police out. So, you know, that's a real shitter. So the mirrors are definitely number one. And now, a lot of you are saying, well, if you're modding the bike, you could get new mirrors, and that's true. But as I've noticed, for mirrors, for CBRs in particular, unless you want to get the CBR 1000 mirrors with the integrated signal light, which personally I really like, A, they cost a bomb, and B, any other mirrors for this bike, I have been told are shit. A lot of the mirrors for this bike are really bad. So that's something that sucks, unfortunately. Now, on to something else that I've noticed that I really don't like, and that is the amount of low down power this thing does not have. And what I mean by that is when you're above, say we're at 55 now in a 60, yeah, that's you know, that's a nice amount of pull. But when you're low down, even in first and second gear, you have to really wind it on to get some power out of it, and that is what 600s are. You have to rev them to get power out of them. But it just, after the first couple of months, not having that low down torque, especially since I've ridden other bikes, not having that low down torque really sucks, because the fun on this bike, you can have fun on it low down speeds, but the main amount of fun on this bike is above 50 mile an hour. That's when you get to really wind it on and throw it into turns and everything else. So it is good, but it's a double negative really. Like, it is good later on, but up front it needs more. I need more as a rider, I am finding. I'm getting a bit tired of the bike not having that torque, especially since I'm riding bikes like the Tuono, the Hypermotard, what else have I ridden recently? The Triumph Street Triple RS. Bikes like that, instant torque. This bike, not so much. And I'm starting to realise that I like instant torque. I like having power at my fingertips. Like, winding it on into a corner at that much RPM, that was about 10 grand. That just sings into corners. Absolutely fantastic. This road surface is bollocks. Need to watch out for a lot of this road surface because it's bumpy as shit. Oh god, what a mistake coming down here. I've always wondered, and I wondered why I never see cars come down here. This is why. Jesus. It's actually 50 metres caution ramps. Ramps? Why? Why? What? It's a fucking open road. Why is the ramp? Oh, entrances. Of course. In fact, that's a nice house. Wow. Farm entrances. Getting off topic a bit here, but another reason I came down this road, not expecting it to be this bad, but I want to give you guys a look at the bike now, since I've had it. But a couple of other negative things. Again, because it revs so high, I feel a lot of vibration through the seat and through the handlebars. So much so that it actually gives me a numb hand when I'm, you know, using my throttle hand. Sometimes it goes numb because the vibrations are just there constantly. So that kind of sucks. And what else is there that really I don't like? It does overheat quite quickly. Undertail exhaust especially makes it overheat quite quick. And there was another, oh yeah, taking a pillion. Now, this bike is very deceiving, okay? Like, I know as far as sports bikes go, they're not comfortable for pillions as it is. But I thought this particular 600 would be the best for a pillion. This is partly the reason that I chose it, was because I thought, well, I need a sports bike in my life. I've never had a proper sports bike. This is my opportunity. And, you know, it's going to be great for a pillion, and it's not. This is the RS5, which I did a video on. Bridgestone TO16 Pros. I think that's the code for them. Yeah, she's a bit of a lookalike, isn't she? She looks nice. I can't see me having this bike for much longer, to be honest. Like, it's fun, and when I go out with friends who have sports bikes, I have a blast. I have such a fun time. But a lot of the time when I'm riding on my own, it's just not what I'm after. My tastes are changing, like I've noticed. I'm not, I change my mind all the time with stuff, like seriously. I cannot make my mind up with anything, but this thing's great, it's just not... I like doing stuff like this more, just exploring and finding stuff, rather than going balls to the wall. Great, I mean, going for a sporty ride on that is great, but I can just guarantee that one day it's just going to be like, license gone. I can just see it. I'll probably end up keeping this now till sometime next year, to be honest. I'm just going to buy a second bike to go alongside it for now, and then I'll just see how much use I get out of it when I have another bike, because with my Tourer, if I start riding my Tourer all the time and I'm like, well, CBR's not getting used, need something else, that'll be the decider. So I'll keep you guys updated on my thoughts with the bike. Currently I am going to be keeping it for a while, but yeah, I'll just let you know. But if you are thinking about getting one of these, and you like sports bikes, it is a good option. It is. I think everyone should have one, like I say, because then you can never say, oh, well, I wish I had a Super Sport when I was younger and that, and you know, you get it out your system more, you start to realise the flaws with Super Sports, and then you're just kind of like, well, I say the flaws with Super Sports, the flaws with riding a Super Sport on the road, that's the major thing here. It's riding them on the road that's the problem. Look at that road surface, Jesus Christ. So that's something to take into consideration. But I hope you've all enjoyed this video, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. I'm just going to go do some exploring, may make a video on that as well.